everyone. If you don't know me, my name's Diane and I've been living with a condition called multiple chemical sensitivity for about 20 years now. It's a condition where you become intolerant to many chemicals in the world, and it has serious consequences for people who, in this particular moment, are experiencing the coronavirus pandemic. I'd like to address actually some of the things that we experience having an illness, whether it's multiple chemical sensitivity in particular, but this relates to a lot of people with illnesses such as Lyme or ME or fibromyalgia or anything really where they need specialised products to make them feel well. I think the biggest thing for me is the out of stock items shopping while this mass hysteria is going on. The out of stock items is a problem because we can only use really unfragranced or very minimally fragranced, definitely not synthetic fragranced products. So all your unfragranced products are now being bought up by mainstream people, and we haven't got anything that we can use because we can't use anything. So for example, you can have your bleach because we can't use bleach, and your scented washing powders and your perfumes and your disinfectants, and mainly most of your actual hand sanitizers, we can't use any of those. But there are specific products that we do need, and they are being bought by you people in mass hysteria without any thought to us that we actually might need them, or you don't even know about them. So things like toilet paper. We can't use mainstream toilet paper. A lot of them are fragranced, a lot of them have the cardboard fragranced, and a lot of them cause irritation to people with multiple chemical sensitivity. Same goes for washing powders. The fragranced washing powders we can't use. It's really difficult for us to shop, and thank God Woolworths has made an hour for us to go in there to shop for things that we may buy in store, because they do have macroorganics and different things that different people would be using. However, I see now that there are so many people offering to take the elderly and take the disabled in there at 7 and 8 a.m. in the morning, or between 7 and 8, which puts extra people in there for us who will be fragranced, and that's just more people in the store. We need less people the better, you know, if we're going to get in there and shop, because they've cancelled click and collect, and you can't just go to the shop anytime and get what you need quickly and get out again because of the mass hysteria that has evolved, that you've got to get there at 8 o'clock in the morning to get your toilet paper, otherwise you're not going to get any. But we can't use that toilet paper. Where's the toilet paper, that the brand that we can use? You know, these people need special products, unfragranced products, simple soap, eco store, just a few brands that the supermarkets stock that people with MCS can use. Unfortunately, now we'll be making our own hand sanitizer, we'll be making our own washing powder. It's lucky that we have the resources to know how to do that. However, so will everybody else. And what happens if those products are no longer available for us? Also, we can't just get things like bicarb and from the normal stores, because they're all products that absorb the smells of other things. And quite often, when people with MCS buy something, we have to off-gas it for a little while. So we have to put that product open outside for a few days, maybe a month, maybe sometimes 2 months before we can actually use it. Sometimes we can't actually use a product straight away. Another thing that's affecting people with MCS is the masks. A lot of people wear masks. I wear a mask in high perfume situations, and before, when we wear a mask, we used to get looks, oh, she's got the lurgy, or you know, maybe she's got the flu, or we were actually quite judged anyway for wearing a mask. However, now when we wear a mask in public, we have the coronavirus, and the reactions from the public for many people are actually quite awful. One lady in particular has been abused for doing her shopping with a mask, In fact, we feel like we have a need for t-shirts to be worn, you know, we don't have a virus, just that you stink, or something like that, you know, just to let people know that we have an intolerance to chemicals and we don't have a virus. And it's actually really depressing, and it's making a lot of people really sad, including me, this stigma that's going on. And along with that, people with MCS actually need those masks. Now, those masks don't last forever. They absorb the chemicals that people use when they go out shopping, so you can't have a mask and have it forever. You have to actually replace it because they get drenched in the scents. They take on the scent of wherever you've been shopping. So normally people buy these masks from Vlogmask, or maybe Cambridge Masks, or somewhere local that maybe someone makes them, through an allergy shop, but they're all sold out because of the virus. People who need the masks for day-to-day living can no longer get them. This is a problem. There's also been an influx of people attending clinics. We can't go to hospital on the best of day, or to see a hospital, you know, normally because of the people there, but now there's so many more people there, and if we contract a virus, we really don't have much protection from it, and it will make us really, really sick. Our lungs are already irritated from fragrances and things like that. It probably won't handle the virus. So even though all these protective issues, you know, that you guys are doing, they're terrifying. But this has been our life forever. And while you're saying, oh, you know, we're not going to cope with this, I've been socially distancing myself, quarantining myself, and wearing a mask for almost 20 years. And so have most of my friends in public places where it is condensed, and, you know, some people can't even leave their house at all. And I was like that for a number of years. I could not leave my home without severe consequences to my health. Somebody wrote in the MCS support group that I'm in, for those of us with severe MCS, if we suspect we might have coronavirus, is there any choice but for us to self-quarantine? Because going to the hospital or the doctor's office on a day like today would just about finish me off. And that is serious. Attending a doctor's clinic is bad enough for us on a normal day, but with everybody that's there, with all their products on while we're feeling sick as well as having an immune illness, is deadly. I have a teenage daughter, I have grandchildren, and whilst I'm sitting in here in isolation, there is nothing stopping them from going somewhere or going to school and coming here to see me, which puts me at risk. So the only thing that I had to stop my social, you know, isolation completely was my family. But because my family consists of very young people and people attending schools and things like that, I have to make the decision not to see them at all. And I'm sure that that's what people with this health condition would be having to do as well. The little socialisation that they did experience, they would have to now cut off completely. Let's all look out for each other, because that's all that we have. While the rest of the world is going crazy for experiencing what we do on a daily basis, we have to look out for each other. So that's all I'm going to talk about for now, and I just hope that I've covered all the points. So the shopping that we have, well, there is mass hysteria. The out of stock items that we need, the masks, the unfragrant products, the toilet papers, the washing powders, just specialised food in general. You know, people aren't going to be buying white rice. What are they going to be buying? What we eat, the brown rice, the specialised rice. All the quinoa will start disappearing. You know what I mean? All the products left of centre that we actually eat and go and get, we're not going to be able to get anymore. Organic eggs will start disappearing. Do you know what I mean? You know what I mean. we're lucky in Australia that we have a good healthcare here and that we can call doctors in if we get sick. That's if that doctor is unfragranced and you can tolerate it. However, by this point, if you do have coronavirus, you're not going to really care if that person's got a slight amount of scent on you, because you probably need some medical care. But I wish that you don't. I wish everybody with this condition remains safe, and I hope that people who don't have MCS are aware that if you know someone with this illness, make sure they've got the products that they can use, because as if it isn't bad enough that we have to go without, or you know, socially distance ourselves even more than what we already do, to go through this and wear a mask and be seen as to be, you know, we're no longer psychiatric because we're wearing a mask, we're contagious. I don't know what's worse, but they both affect our health and well-being and how we feel about ourselves. It's bad enough living with this condition. So for everybody with this MCS, love and blessings. Thank you for watching if you watched it. And to people that don't have this condition, please make sure that if you know someone with this condition, that you go and ask them if they've got the products that they need. If there's anything that you can do for them, bring them a box of vegetables or something like that. Go and pick them up something organic. Ask them if they need anything cooked for them, because all these people with the invisible illnesses around the world, they're the ones that are going to be forgotten about, and they will be the ones in their homes suffering. Because we can't just run up the street when everybody else does and get what we need. This video is dedicated to all the people that I know who have been forced into isolation because of having ill health, where we're doing exactly what everybody else is doing and they're complaining that they have to stay inside their house for 2 weeks. This is for you.